The next question tonight is from Rod Koenig. His question is for Dave Sharma. Rod is one of your constituents.
Dave,
I know, Rod.
your government's response to the COVID-19 crisis has been effective largely because of strong leadership, bipartisan cooperation, acceptance of the science and listening to the experts. So why can't the government adopt the same approach with climate action?
The question's for you, Dave Sharma.
Thank you, Rod. Rod was one of these people who was stuck aboard one of these cruise ships who had to be brought home from Australia.
So you've helped him out now. He's throwing you a curly question on Q&A.
Look, I'd say I think there are two lessons for climate change to come out of this crisis. The first is that no nation can go it alone when you're dealing with these global challenges. No nation is an island, even Australia, when it comes to these sorts of things, certainly when it comes to a pandemic, but also when it comes to CO2 emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions. So I think I'm always interested in us doing more in this area, but it only makes sense if it's part of a global effort. And the second thing I'd say is that you know, I've seen the statistics or the projections from this. People expect that this year global emissions will be down about 5% from last year's levels. Now, that sounds, you know, it is dramatic. It's the biggest drop in emissions, but look at what the cost of doing that has been. Look at how many people are out of work. Look at the sort of human misery it's caused. To actually meet some of our targets, we need to have several pandemics over and over again. And I think that shows you that the only way we're going to do this is if we transition our economies to a more technology-oriented future. We're not going to do it by deindustrialising. So I think this is, I'm getting to the answer here for Rod, but it's really, this is why we're investing so much in things like the technology roadmap, the hydrogen economy, renewable energy storage.
I've got to bring in Penny Wong because she's laughing in Adelaide.
Sorry. Well, it was the phrase deindustrialising. It reminded me of Nick Minchin, you know, all those years ago saying, I think on Four Corners or 7:30 report, that climate change was a left-wing conspiracy to deindustrialise the Western world. And the reality is in the last decade, the coalition, large numbers of them, have not moved beyond that, you know, hard ideological position. And the question that was asked of Dave, which he's dodged, is if you can accept the science around COVID-19, why can't you accept the science as a government around climate?
We do accept the science around climate, fundamentally.
But you don't. I mean, the reality is, well, you do not, because your response is never commensurate. Your party room is divided, and as a consequence, we have had no energy policy for a decade, which is driving up prices for Australian consumers and ensuring we don't have an effective response to climate change. So it'd be pretty good if that would change.